The year was 2000. It was an ordinary Thursday in Metro Manila. Office workers logged on, students filled internet cafes, and inboxes began to fill, as they always did. But that morning, a single email would slip through the cracks. Its subject line was simple: I love you. At that moment, no one knew it yet. But this message was about to change the digital world forever.
On the loose, the love note is the most damaging and widespread computer virus ever.
The message says, I love you, but it's a virus, not a Valentine.
It arrived as a love note, but it was...
It is the worst computer virus attack yet. It zipped through the global communications net at digital speed today.
Love bug virus has
Viruses on the loose. The Cupid who cooked it up and committed the crime is a hacker in the Philippines. The love note is the most damaging and widespread computer virus ever, and tonight, the FBI believes it has a suspect.
One click, that's all it took. Within minutes, screens began flickering, files vanished, inboxes flooded. Offices froze as computers crashed one after the other. The virus moved faster than anyone could react, jumping from Manila to Hong Kong, then to London, and finally New York. By the time experts realized what was happening, it was already too late.
For the last 36 hours, the I Love You virus has been creating havoc around the world, certainly here in North America, and already business interruption costs are estimated at more than $1 billion.
So what exactly was the I Love You virus?
Well, the I Love You virus was one of the most infamous cybercrimes in history.
It's a worm. The I Love You bug is a worm. It gets through the system. It's not like a standalone virus. It gets into the server and propagates itself by its own. And then, of course, the fact that it steals passwords from the server or the infected computer.
So why did millions fall for something so simple? Because it looked like a love letter, and also because of one small design choice, one that most people didn't even notice. In the year 2000, Microsoft Windows hid known file extensions by default. So instead of seeing loveletterforyou.txt.vbs, users only saw loveletterforyou.txt. It looked like a harmless text file, but in reality, it was a script, ready to run the moment you opened it. And once it ran, it didn't stop. Now, thanks to Internet Archives, we were able to dig up a video demonstrating exactly what happens when you open this supposed love letter.
It is currently Friday, May 5th, 2000. On my computer, I am running Windows 2000, and on my desktop, I have included some files for the virus to overwrite. I have an audio file, which is completely functional, and just a standard image. I'm going to open my Microsoft Outlook and check my email. Looks like I have something in my inbox. Well, this looks interesting. Kindly check the attached love letter coming from me. I guess someone wants to share some undisclosed feelings that they have about me. Let's go ahead and download that. As you can see, if I turn off the default setting to hide file extensions, the .vbs is here very clearly. But since I have it turned on, I have no idea. This is just an ordinary text file, and I'm curious to see what's inside. As you can now see, everyone in my contact list has now been sent a copy of the script. In addition, the files that I showed you earlier have now been overwritten. They're gone. Even if I revert back to the original file extension, nothing. You can probably see why this was such an issue for businesses, as important files would be permanently erased and could only be recovered from a backup if they were so lucky. As mentioned earlier, this virus would only hide some files rather than overwrite them, specifically audio files. As you can see, our MP3 is perfectly fine, just locked away. So, if you were a music producer, you had a much easier way out of this. Remember when I told you that this virus was known for being easily modifiable? Well, I will show you just how simple it is to access the source code. All you have to do is right-click and select Edit. The rest is at your fingertips. Many other programmers who were also emailed the virus could send out their own version, and that's exactly what they did. Some of them showed absolutely no mercy, and rather than destroying files, destroyed the entire operating system. If we replace JS and JSE with EXE and COM, these files will be replaced with the worm. Let's go ahead and restart, shall we? That's too bad. This is not going to be a cheap fix.
As the virus spread like wildfire, crashing email servers, overwriting files, and stealing passwords, panic set in. Governments, corporations, and even the Pentagon were affected. Meanwhile, cybersecurity experts and the authorities scrambled to contain the outbreak.
There's an ongoing
Ongoing.
operation.
Well, can we wait? Will you be able to tell us the result of that operation a little bit later?
Yeah, perhaps later, sir.
Perhaps later.
We would have to wait for further developments, with more solid evidence.
You folks have been working since this began with the government and other agencies to try to cure their problems. What are you doing?
Well, we actually got alerted at 6 a.m. yesterday UK time. Our lab there then alerted us 6 a.m. our time, and yesterday unfolded in chaos. It just spread so prolifically. By 2 p.m. we were in excess of 300,000 servers infected, and our lab's been busy trying to work on a quick fix.
Luckily, the virus had a clue hidden in its code. A server address hosted right here in the Philippines. And it wasn't long before the trail led them to a name. So who was responsible for all of this? Who was behind the email that brought the world to its knees? The answer takes us back to a student in Manila. Quiet, curious, and technically gifted. His name was Onel de Guzman. Back in 1999, Onel was studying at AMA Computer College, and like many of his peers, he was fascinated with computers and frustrated by one thing: the cost of getting online. At the time, internet access in the Philippines was expensive and limited. Unable to afford access himself, Onel began experimenting. He wanted a way to connect to the internet without paying. His solution? A program that could steal passwords. It started as a school thesis, a project he titled Email Password Sender Trojan, but the school refused to accept it, citing serious ethical concerns for very obvious reasons. Having been rejected by his professors, Onel didn't stop there. He believed his idea had merit even if the school didn't, but without support and facing mounting academic pressure, he made a decision that would change everything. Onel proceeded to drop out. No thesis, no diploma, just a controversial idea and the skills to turn it into code.
This student has a rather average grade in other subjects, a grade of 3 or a 2.5, which is average passing. But he has some good grades in computer science, like the very challenging subject of assembly language. He has a flat one, which is a very high grade.
On the 8th of May 2000, just 4 days after the virus hit, Philippine authorities finally made their move. Police raided the apartment in Manila and brought in 2 suspects. One of them, 23-year-old Onel de Guzman, the AMA college student whose thesis had been rejected just a year earlier. Within hours, the media swarmed the story.
I love you computer virus made in the Philippines.
Headlines across the globe asked the same thing.
Was he the person who was on the arrest warrant?
He is the person under arrest right now because we are restraining his liberty.
Did a student from Manila really bring the internet to a standstill?
Like I said, it's a very, very sketchy bit of news, no? And Pandacan's a very big area, so it's like a needle in a haystack. It would appear that all his motivation was to get free internet access through hacked accounts. Now, if he's got graver intentions from what he's done, I'm not aware of that, and it's purely speculation, no? And
well, actually, it popularized the name Obama. That's one thing. But the thing that it damages a lot of people, a lot of things, like the people's documents. I guess I will not be proud of it.
He is not really aware whether or not the acts imputed to him were indeed done by him. But he admits that he has been using the internet extensively. So, if you ask me whether or not he was aware of the consequences, I would say that he was not aware, and he did not even know that any act on his part would really come to the results which have been reported.
My surprise cannot be measured that such a thing affecting the international body of institutions negatively happened right here.
The internet is supposed to be educational, so it should be for free.
But when questioned, Onel said very little. No confession, no denial, only silence.
When was the last time he went home?
And yet, despite the damage, with over $10 billion in estimated losses, there was one problem.
He wanted to be relieved of any responsibility and liability by saying that possibly he has released accidentally the love bug virus.
I might even say that he probably isn't aware, or he wasn't aware of the gravity of what he did.
At the time, the Philippines had no laws against cybercrime. There was nothing to charge him with.
So he's been arrested but not charged.
The I Love You virus revealed something terrifying. The digital world could be attacked by a single person, and there was no law to stop it. In the wake of the attack, the Philippines rushed to act. By mid-2000, lawmakers introduced the country's first anti-cybercrime bill, the E-Commerce Act of 2000. It was a start, a signal to the world that cyberspace needed rules, and that those rules had to catch up fast.
After investigation, we will file the necessary charges, the appropriate charges, in the light of the evidence that will be gathered.
And after the media frenzy died down, Onel disappeared. No conviction, no jail time, just a name whispered in InfoSec circles and a mystery. It wasn't until 2019 that the trail lit up again, when journalist Geoff White set out to find the man behind the world's first global cyber attack. White followed the breadcrumbs, old emails, court records, and even tech forums, all leading back to a phone shop in Manila. And the man who once brought the digital world to a standstill. 5 years later, we retrace Geoff White's footsteps. Same city, same street, same stall.
morning guys. Dito po ang aming team. Ano masasabi nyo guys? Cellphone niya ang gagamitin, okay?
Cellphone niya gagamitin.
We didn't stop there. We turned over phone repair shops, searched all the tech malls we could, hoping to find a trace of the man who once brought the world to a halt. Finding one man in a city of over 13 million wasn't exactly easy. We didn't know if we'd find him, but we wanted to understand. Not just the code, not just the headlines, but the person.
Welcome to Manila.
Over the course of our search, we met mall guards, vendors, and other phone technicians. Some remembered the name,
Onel de Guzman.
but most didn't. Technology changes fast, but memories, they fade even faster. 2 decades later, and not many people remember the name Onel de Guzman. And even fewer people know where he went. The next lead brought us to a row of tech stalls in Quiapo, the same place GF White had found Onel years ago.
So ngayon, nandito na kami sa Repto. Papunta kay Onel. Sabi nila nasa taas daw siya. Ayun. As of now, no, di namin siya makita. And nag-ikot na kami mula ground floor. Yan. Nandito kami sa ano yan. Anong floor to? Third floor. Yan, third floor. And nagpapahinga lang muna kami dito since yan. No? Since dami na rin kami tinanungan dito. And walang ano sa kanya. Walang may kilala. Pero may mga sinasuggest sila na ano na possible na ayun yung store nila. Pero I think hindi kasi kita naman sa mukha nung mga pinagtatanungan na namin, parang di talaga nila kilala. So I think hindi dito yung store niya or ano, or possible kaya na may love si ano, si Sir Onel. And yun, pero check na pa rin namin for sure na ano, if possible bang makita siya dito. And yun lang muna.
Some said he still fixed phones nearby. Others said he was long gone. No one really knew.
So, ang nangyari kanina, nung hinahanap namin siya sa isitan, si Onel de Guzman, nagtanong-tanong kami sa mga guards, and nung una, tinuro kami sa third floor kung nasaan ang mga repair shop na mobile and laptop, PC. Tapos, nagtanong-tanong kami sa mga repair shop, then pinagpatapasan kami kung saan-saan kami tinuturo na nandun daw sa Guzman. Pero ang naging ending, yung iba, hindi daw nila kilala. Yung iba, ano naman, tinuturo nga kami kung saan. Pero pag pinuntahan naman namin, wala rin. Kaya ang masasabi ko lang dito sa ano namin, journey is unsuccessful. Kaya ayun, napakahirap niyang hanapin, lalo't kakunti naman yung info about him, and ayun lang po. At nakikita niyo doon daw siya nag-aaral eh.
And as we moved from stall to stall, one thing became clear. Onel had disappeared again. Just like the virus he wrote, he left behind more questions than answers. In the end, we didn't find him. Not this time. 20 years ago, Onel de Guzman's name echoed across continents. Today, it's a whisper, scattered in forum threads, buried in archived news clippings, and fading from public memory. But maybe that's how he wanted it. No press, no platform, just silence. Still, his creation changed everything, not just the internet, but how we think about trust, technology, and the humans behind the code. And even if Onel is gone from the spotlight, his legacy isn't. So we asked,
Ano ang alam mo tungkol sa I Love You virus o kay Onel de Guzman?
Tanda ko yung napanood ko yun sa ABS-CBN. Tanda ko dun, yung I Love You virus. Sabi, ang sweet naman kasi may nakalagay I love you. Isipin mo parang love letter, ganon. Yung pala mali ako, yung pala Trojan virus pala siya. So, yun ang pagkakaalam ko. Yung legend na si Onel, legend na sa mga...
Technology has evolved, but the question remains,
Sa tingin nyo ba, anong dapat matutunan ng bawat IT student mula sa kwento ni Onel de Guzman?
Ang ano po namin, nung nakita ko po siya, ang naisip ko po nun, ba't hindi nila kinuha si para sa security kasi maganda yung pagkakagawa niya ng virus and umabot kasi sa ibang bansa and naging masikat siya.
Kita nyo naman, sumakses tayo sa last nating interview at ngayon ay maghahanap naman tayo ng panibagong random people. Tara, samahan nyo ako. Sa palagay nyo po, dapat po bang parusahan ng isang taong hindi sinasadyang gumawa ng virus na kumalat sa buong mundo?
Si Onel de Guzman?
Apo.
Hindi sinasadya. For me, kailangan, pwede sila magkaroon ng, consequence, pero hindi katulad nung sobrang bigat, katulad ng mga sinasadyang instances, like, kumbaga para lang masabi na may consequence kasi mali pa rin yung nagawa kahit na hindi sinasadya, pero ayun nga, at some point, hindi naman ginusto na gawin yan, hindi naman planado, hindi naman, kumbaga ay, hindi naman intention. So, meron pa rin, pero hindi kasing bigat nung sa iba.
Last question na po. Ano ang masasabi ninyo sa ideya ng isang simpleng estudyante ay nakagawa ng ganito kalaking epekto sa buong mundo?
Ang galing niya, kuya. Hindi, ang galing niya kasi wala, sino mag-iisip na ganong, parang simpleng estudyante lang siya, di ba kuya? For his thesis ba yun? Sa AMA. Ayun, so, ang galing niya kasi umabot sa buong mundo. Tapos, syempre, wala naman tayong di ba? Like, wala tayong law pa for doon. Kaya hindi siya nakakasuhan, di ba kuya? So, for me, magaling. Pero, syempre, naka-formation din talaga siya ng mga system hanggang sa ibang bansa. Magaling. So, Filipino pride.
Okay po. Yun lang po, ma'am. Thank you po.
Thank you po.
to put everything into perspective, we reached out to someone who lives and breathes cybersecurity today to help us understand what made the I Love You virus so dangerous and what it means for all of us even now.
Good day po, Sir Nero. Ngayon po ay mag-interview po kami sa inyo. Ako po si Samantha Peitan, ito po si Yuri Fonilas, at ito pa yung mga tanong namin sa iyo.
Yan, sir. Sa tingin niyo po ba mayroon pa ring tsansa na may kumalat pa rin na katulad sa I Love You virus sa panahon natin ngayon?
Right. In terms of chances that we have the same type of like the I Love You virus, chances are possible. But the type, yung tulad ng I Love You virus na ngayon kasi, hindi na ganun. But of course, every threats right now evolves. Alright? So, yung ating cybersecurity, it really evolves from the past few years. So, definitely, yung mga threats natin din, nag-evolves na rin sila ngayon. So, the type of, the Trojan horse type of virus or whatever threats that we have, malaki na yung changes na kumpara natin sa I Love You virus. So, kung typical I Love You virus today, kaya na siyang ma-defend na natin on what we have right now. So I think this kind of virus or natin, kaya na siya. But of course, nagbago na siya. So evolve na yan, yung ating klaseng...
Kasi marami pang bumubuo na mga methods. Yun. Thank you, sir, sa first question na nasagot na.
Sa tingin niyo po ba dapat na makasuhan si De Guzman kahit po wala pang batas noon para sa digital?
Well, in that time, in the Philippines kasi, there's no such thing as a cyber law. Alright, so nung time na ginawa niya yun, it is only a thesis from their college na hindi pinayagan, but eventually ang ginawa nga niya dun is that night, pinasok niya sa internet, then suddenly in just one day na widespread siya. So in reality talaga, hindi natin pwedeng kasuhan si de Guzman for that particular area kasi walang law. Alright? But in a social responsibility natin, kailangan alam natin noon. Ang hirap lang talaga kasi pagdating sa law, may mga loopholes tayo. May loopholes. Kaya nga, pwede siya sigurong kasuhan sa ibang bansa. But of course, nadito yung ginanap yung crime dito sa Pilipinas. So kung nandito ka at dito ka nagano ng crime natin, how can you convict a person in the other country kung dito mo ginawa siya? So again, there should be a social responsibility pero kumbaga in terms of getting to the court, definitely mananalo talaga siya at that time. So kung ngayon pag-usapan natin, possible na makulong siya. Of course, kailangan magkaroon siya ng ano doon, matulan siya kasi nga may ginawa siyang mali. Eh noong panahon na yon, ang internet pa naman noon hindi pa tulad today. Kaya medyo hindi pa aware lahat no sa pangyayari na yun. Yung ilan pa lang talaga. Okay? So I think ano naman talaga siya. You have to be matulan siya kung pag-usapan talaga natin.
Next question po is, ano po yung pinakamahalagang aral na dapat po matutunan ng CS or IT students mula sa pangyayaring?
Right. So as a CS or computer science or information technology students, knowing na part kayo ng IT, okay, or CS nga, be responsible enough. You know that everything that you do, may nakaakibat na responsibility tayo. At kung ano man ang action na ginagawa natin, meron magiging result yan. So, in our digital world, kung ano man ang gawin natin, kahit sa there's always a footprint. Okay? Hindi ibig sabihin na naka-online ka, hindi ka na makikilala. No one can know you in every action that you do. So, definitely, in the network, may footprint lagi ang ginagawa ninyo. Kung saan ka man, using your cell phone, natin, if it's just a matter of time para ma-identify kung nasaan kayo. So again, when it comes to IT and CS, be responsible enough on what you're doing. Hindi pwedeng okay lang yan or natin. Kayo nakakaalam, you should be understand of those things. Hindi pwedeng end users lang kayo. Kailangan behind this technology, you understand the social responsibility of what you're doing. And remember, right now, ang napaka-importante ng information. Compare mo sa monetary, it is more important ang information. Whoever had the most information, sila ngayon yung powerful. Kaya ngayon maraming gumagawa ng threats because they want to gather information. So I think be responsible. Sa inyo magsisimula yung pagtuturo not only from you but for everyone to understand the social responsibility of using the technology, using the cyber world, and using everything. Right? So yun siguro yung may sasuggest ko.
Ayun, thank you, Sir Nero.
Okay, thank you din.
Sa pagsagot ng mga katanungan namin.
Alright, sige.
And,
25 years later, the world has moved on, faster, more connected, and more vulnerable than ever. But behind the firewalls, the passwords, and the updates, the I Love You virus remains a reminder. A reminder that it doesn't take a powerful machine or $1 billion budget to change the world. Just one person, one idea, one line of code.
Nagawa rin ako sarili kong virus. Na-jump.
And maybe, just maybe, the right question asked at the right time.
Ayaw mo ba mag-aral ng 4 years? Pilit, bibigyan ka ng diploma.